Hello, good morning, everyone. Uh, a warm welcome to our new seminar. Uh, before starting our webinar, let me introduce myself. My name is Rahul. I am a MEP design engineer for mechanical building services. So before starting, I hope my voice is clear. Shilpa,
Yes, sir.
is everything
It's
fine?
clear.
Is everything fine? Yeah. Okay, so let's start. So as I said, my name is Rahul. I am a MEP design engineer for mechanical building services. I have more than 7 years of experience in MEP design and execution. Uh, also, I have a certification in Autodesk Revit MEP software. Uh, and I would like to introduce you to our new to our course HVAC design and BIM modeling. This is a specialized course developed for mechanical engineers. Okay. Uh, in this webinar, you will get an idea about all the skills and job responsibilities of a HVAC engineer or a designer. And also, you will have an idea about what HVAC and BIM is. As mechanical engineers, I hope I know that you have an idea about this, but you will have a better idea about what HVAC and BIM is. Also, how to use latest BIM technology in HVAC design. So, welcome to our webinar, HVAC design and BIM modeling. So, first of all, I will give a brief idea about our company, BIM Labs. Before that, let me give you a brief idea about what BIM is. So, BIM is building information modeling. It's a 3D driven technology which helps in designing, constructing, and operating buildings and infrastructures. We can say that BIM is a digital model of a building which contains all the required information from planning to operation. For this, we have various softwares like, for example, Revit, Naviswork, Primavera, etc. So BIM has become a mandatory part of the construction industry now, where all these integrated tools help the professionals like us in making better decisions regarding the life cycle of the infrastructure and buildings. Okay, and a professional as a professional just like you seeking a job in construction or MEP industry can be ahead of other candidates by taking maximum benefits of BIM or BIM concept. By being the first to provide certification courses in BIM, BIM Lab trains the aspiring professionals in it by making them well knowledge and equipped with the intelligent 3D based process. So that's what our objective is. So coming to the next point, as I told you, we are also introducing a new course on HVAC design and BIM-based modeling. So from this course, what you are getting as a candidate, what are your benefits by attending this course? So yes, okay, I'm continuing. So after the successful completion of the course requirements, the students will obtain a thorough idea about HVAC designs and areas of BIM workflow and process. So, and this course will prepare you to achieve the required skill set for MEP or an HVAC BIM modeler, and that can, after getting an entry into in the field as a BIM modeler, you can go for higher profiles like BIM coordinator, BIM manager, etc. in the future. So these are very like profiles which are in high demand in the present market. Also, after learning the HVAC design, and when you have a knowledge in HVAC design, you can opt for other profiles like HVAC designer, HVAC engineer, HVAC inspector, HVAC estimator, etc. So after learning this one, or after completing the course, you can have a lot of options, like you have a better career opportunity in this one because you are specializing in these fields. So what are the some additional benefits? Like as I told you, you are like when you are joining BIM Labs, you should get some additional benefits. So what are those? That I will explain to you now. So we have a special program for our students. It's called Bridge. It's a BIM placement service provided by BIM Lab. Already BIM Lab is tied up with key AEC firms, architectural engineering and construction firms in South India. And over the past 2 years, we have placed over 100 students. And as a part of this, after completing your course, you will get an online assessment, okay, which is conducted to all our students. And based on that assessment, we are providing internship to all our students. For example, BIM Studio is one of our sister concerns, and we are into CAD and BIM design and document projects. So after completing the course, students can join BIM as an intern. Also, based on the result of your assessment, we will arrange interviews and place you in suitable companies. Okay, how we will do that? That I will come to that. For example, we have every Saturday we are posting newsletters. For example, I will show you. So from our associates and partners, we will get in, whenever there are some vacancies there, we will get we will collect all that, and we will support you. Like we will provide you a newsletter like this, and we will help you to get placed, and we will guide you for that. So for example, this is from yesterday. So these are the some of the vacancies provided by some of our partners, placement partners. And you can see there are various profiles, and you can see that we have some students also in these firms. And apart from that, we are the authorized channel partners for Autodesk in Kerala. We have participating in like training programs. Also, if you want to get our certification in certain softwares like AutoCAD or Revit, we are providing that also. And one more thing, we are a registered educational institute in Indian Green Building Council. So these are all the benefits which you are getting from us. So again, these are some of our partners. You can go through this quickly so that you can get an idea. We have industry associates, and we have separate internship partner, where after your training you can get an internship program in these firms. We are also into corporate trainings, like some companies, they want to train their employees. So we are providing training programs for them also. And if they are required, we will provide manpower from our side. Like after completing course, we have a suitable profile, we will share with them. And you can see some of our placement partners also. So I hope everybody have completed BTech in mechanical engineering, and you are going to choose a career path. And so let me tell you something. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, US, this is a survey conducted by US Department of Labor. This we can actually consider as a general data. So if we check the data, we can see that after completing mechanical engineering or a mechanical graduate, 13% of the total people are joining in machine manufacturing. Okay. After that, 12% are into transportation equipment manufacturing, maybe this automobile field, and 7%, relatively smaller people, are going to research and development field. And computer and electronic product manufacturing are also hiring mechanical engineers, so almost 7% is going there. And here you can see architectural, engineering, and related services are around 22%. So what is this architectural, engineering, and related services? So I will come into that. You can verify this, like you can go to various sites like LinkedIn, Monster, etc., and you can see yourself like where you are having more opportunity. You can do a small research by yourself also. So as I told you, architectural engineering and related service is nothing but MEP. So as a mechanical engineer or an engineering graduate, you will be already knowing this. MEP stands for, in a building service, stands for mechanical building services. M stands for mechanical building services. In M, mechanical building services, main component is HVAC. HVAC means heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. In detail, we will get into that. Okay, and E stands for electrical system design. That is for lighting, power layout, etc. That is done by electrical engineers. And again, if you are coming to P, that is plumbing. Where would be without plumbing? So water is then a very essential part of the building, and mechanical engineers design the plumbing system for fresh water and this sanitary wastewater removal from the building. So now let's concentrate on the main part, which is mechanical in MEP. So that is HVAC systems. So as a mechanical engineer, you know that it stands for heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. So heating means process of adding heat in an internal space if the temperature of the particular location is less than the standard temperature by using electrical resistance or boiler. So we are providing based on we have various industry standards like ASHRAE, ESHRAE, carrier standards, etc. So we are providing this heating based on these industrial standards. So after that, ventilation is there. Ventilation means, as you may already know, providing fresh air in an internal space in order to maintain sufficient amount of oxygen and to exhaust foul smell given off by people or other internal components, etc. So this is also designed based on various industrial standards like ASHRAE, etc. So HVAC does not mean just to control the temperature. Like if it is cold, we are adding temperature, and if it is hot, we are again reducing the temperature. It is not like that. There are various things to consider. You can see, as in air conditioning, it is the conditioning of air in which human mind should feel comfort. It's based on human comfort. So it is a process of treating air in internal environment in order to establish and maintain required standards of temperature. So not only temperature, you can see here, relative humidity, cleanliness, motion, and distribution of air. So based on standards, you have to consider all these. And one more thing is the noise level. This is also an important part in HVAC. We have to consider the noise, control the noise level to match the human comfort level. So we have explained about BIM. We have talked about HVAC. So as I discussed earlier, we have discussed these things. So why we use BIM in HVAC? That's a very important question. So first of all, as I told you, this is the very latest technology. You have it is an emerging technology. There is a lot of scope in this, but why we are using this HVAC, or why are we doing designing HVAC in BIM? So that's an important question. So if you see, HVAC system will account for 30 to 40% of energy building cost. That means that most of the energy is consumed by a HVAC systems, because it have a lot of components like fans, compressors, etc. So it's a major energy consumer. So because of this, mechanical system engineers are starting to take the advantage of BIM to make sure that they are designing the systems very energy efficiently. So better decisions can be made earlier in the design process. So they can cut the unwanted cost and they can concentrate on the energy efficiency of the building. And also the primary use of BIM for HVAC system engineering occurs when the engineer can download the data contained within the drafting file and HVAC load and performance calculations with the use of specialized software. For example, Revit, they can take away any guesswork and results in better design with less effort. Okay, and also one more thing is that different equipments. After that, different equipments or components can be easily swapped out to improve performance, while all the drawing updates are automatically within the new changes. What I mean that is, so because of this intense coordination between all we have during construction, different parties like consultant, building contractor, HVAC contractor, etc. So as a mechanical engineer, you can coordinate with all the other departments, okay, and real time, and you can get all these extract all these data directly from the 3D model, and you can analyze that data, and you can if you want, you can try different components to get the maximum performance out of the system. Okay, after that, one more advantage is that it is in the routing. Routing means in the ductwork. We can create a very efficient system. Okay, not only that, we can do various analysis on these systems also for best performance. And as you can see here, as I pointed out, there are various chances of clashes with structural elements and other services. A building is having many services like plumbing, firefighting, and if it is having structural components, it is having architectural components. So we can plan ahead and avoid all these things. Like we have options like interference check in this in Revit software. So using that, we can plan accordingly. And because of this coordination, everything is planned ahead, resulting in a reduced mistake due to poor coordination or communication. This is a very important point, and it is currently being implemented throughout the industry. So these are done by engineers just like you. So they will have experience in designing, or they have knowledge in designing. So they will do all this coordination. They will do this all the design before construction in the planning stage itself, and they will analyze this. So that's why we are using BIM technology in HVAC. So as I told you, this course is regarding HVAC design plus BIM modeling. So what are our course objectives or the skills you require as an HVAC engineer or designer? So as an HVAC designer or engineer, you need to know some additional data, so additional information. So that is one is mainly HVAC design. So our course is distributed into that 3 parts. Okay, first is HVAC design. Second is HVAC drafting with AutoCAD. After the design part, we will have a drafting part where you will use all the data from design, and you will start drafting in AutoCAD. So finally, the last module is BIM based HVAC modeling. As I told you, BIM is becoming a very crucial part in the building industry. So we are using Revit software for that. So we will use Revit to model all the systems for a building, HVAC systems. Okay, so these are the main 3 parts in the course. So part 1 is HVAC design. So in HVAC design, we have divided these part into different modules. As a mechanical engineer, you will be studying this in most of the things in college, and in this course, you will be dealing with a more practical approach. So in this module, you will get an introduction to HVAC. You will get a more idea about all these. Yeah, excuse me. yeah, you will get a more idea about the industries, different types of branches where you can work and everything, and different parties which are involved in the HVAC design process. After that, there is project execution, standards and units, physics, refrigerants. Most of these you will be already aware of. Refrigeration cycle, this also you are handling in your academia, and psychometry, and how to use psychometric software to get all the psychometric data, basic units and conversions required for HVAC design, and the thumb rule for load calculation. That is nothing but if you are getting a site plan, or if you are getting a project, how you can calculate the load calculations in a rough manner, in a quick manner. That is also included. And finally, we have included different air conditioning systems like split AC, chiller, ductable split, etc. So there will be an explanation on that, like the parts and components in different refrigeration systems. Okay, that is the module 1. After module 1, the module 2 is very important. So it is a load calculation. In load calculation, it is further divided into two components. First is data extraction. In this topic, you will learn everything about drawings. Like as an engineer, you have to handle various drawings. And as a HVAC engineer or a HVAC designer, you need to read all these data collect all these data from these drawings and apply this to get the required load calculation. So drawings are there, and the latitude and longitude of a building, elevation, orientation. Okay, these factors affect the load calculation. And after that, we will select a system, like for example, split AC, window AC, or ductable split as per the site condition. And we will analyze various outdoor and indoor conditions, section heights. As you know, we have like beam bottom height, we have ceiling clearance. For ducting purpose, we need that also. And what type of, if you are using an office, school, residential space, so it will also affect the load calculation. So that will be explained. And construction materials, surrounding conditions, windows, doors, etc., people, equipment, these all components actually have a great impact on load calculation. Okay, and U and R values, that is nothing but total coefficient of heat transmittance and resistance. Maybe you are already aware of this one. So we will explain, we will have a discussion about this also in great detail. So after collecting all this data, this is also a very important topic, load calculation. First, we will just look at a simple project, and we will use manual equations to calculate the load of that area. And we will be using ASHRAE handbooks, climatic data software. As I told you earlier, we have different software for this, for getting climatic data, psychometric data, etc. We will use all that, and we will consider all these internal and external sources. Internal and external sources, nothing but sources which are producing heat. Okay, we have to consider that. And based on these equations and everything, we will calculate the heat load. And also infiltration and ventilation requirements are also there. Ventilation, as I told you, pressure which we are bringing from outside, and infiltration is unwanted air which it is coming inside building through doors, cracks, etc. So after this, you will be able to do the heat load calculation manually by yourself. And after that, we will use the same data to calculate the load in E20 sheet. E20 sheet is a sheet prepared from Carrier company. It is widely used in the market. So you will learn how to use all this data and get the load from E20 sheet. So this is also a very, very important topic, and every HVAC engineer or a mechanical engineer should know this one. So after that, you will have an idea about how we are getting heat load. So After that, we will, based on that load, we will select them. We will be able to select a machine. As you can see here, in module 1, we have already discussed about, after module 1, you will have an idea about all the systems. So in this module, from the load calculation, you will get the heat load and CFM and data like that. And from that, you can easily select split AC or package or chiller from the manufacturer. As you will know this one. From manufacturers will provide one catalog. From this data, we can select the required machine. So next topic is also an important one. So that is HAP software. HAP software or hourly analysis software is also developed by Carrier company. It is used for load calculation and energy analysis. We can do energy analysis also in this one. You can check like operation cost, how much fuel it will need, or how much energy it is required by the system, or you can calculate the cost also using the software. This software is actually used by many people. Lots of consultants are using this one, not only in India, but if you are going abroad, like in Gulf countries or Europe countries, they are also widely using the software. So this is a very powerful tool. In this course, you will in HAP software, you need to know the overall workflow of the software. You need to know the creation of libraries. For example, I will show. I will open the HAP software and just show you a small example. So this is the HAP software. You have to create a project just as in the manual, but in more detail, we will create all this project, and we will provide all the required inputs like location, space requirements, like how much zones are there, how much spaces are there, and what are the requirements. Everything we are providing in the software. Okay, and after that, we are selecting systems. We have option to create various systems like ductable split, what kind of coil you want, what kind of airflow you want. Everything you can enter this one, and plan this for chiller. And after that, you can view the result from the software. For example, I will just generate a result. So in this one, you can see that we have a detailed report on everything from cost to total heat load from the system required by the system. This is energy analysis. So this is also very useful. As you can see, all the required information we can generate from the software, space by space also. Each this is an example project, and this is a school project. You can see in each classroom how much airflow is needed, how much load is needed to cool that area. Everything is available in the software, and also in the final report we will get everything. This like maximum heat required to be removed from that space, total space. So using this data, we can calculate the total heat load, and also we can select a system according to this one. Okay, and after that comes the duct and terminal design. So after all this design data, what we will do, we will use our data to design duct, passage, like from where we will carry air from the machine to all the required spaces. So you, as an engineer, you should know everything about duct and fittings, different types of ducts, different types of materials used in that, and things like that. And we have a method to size the duct, like the width of a duct or height of the duct. We have a method called equal friction method. You will learn that. For that, we are also using a software called McQuaid Duct Sizer. So using that, we will size the software, And after the ducts designing, you need to select a air terminal. You know air terminal, like it's shown here. Like we can see on the ceilings and everywhere this square shaped duct diffusers, right? So it's nothing but that. There are various types of diffusers. So you will have an idea about how to select that one, okay, how to place this one, and things like that. And finally, in installation, how to install this one in the real world. That also you will get an idea after this module 5. So after that, this is one more topic. As mechanical engineers, you will have an idea about fans, right? Like different types of fans, axial fans, centrifugal fans, etc. So from the load calculation, from the data from the load calculation, we can directly select the suitable fan from that data. Before that, one more data is required from the CFM and everything. There is one calculation called ESP calculation. It's also one of the major points as a HVAC engineer. You will be using it very often. So as an HVAC engineer or mechanical engineer or MEP designer, anything, you should know this ESP calculation. So this ESP calculation and everything about fan and this fan selection, like after the calculation, you will have an idea about how much capacity the fan needs. And based on that, you can select a fan of your choice, which is suitable for the project. And finally, in module 7, in the HVAC design, it's planning. So in planning, you will know how to arrange all these things. We have from module 1 to 6, we have discussed a lot of things. So from 1 to 7, what we have learned, we will arrange this, okay, and you will have an idea about how you can design a project from start to end. Like from concept drawing, you will get heat load calculation, you will create different spaces and zones, you will select a machine, you will select the size the duct, you will create the, you will place the terminals, and finally you will go for testing and installation and testing. So this planning, you will get an idea in module 7. So after this one, we have one additional topic for in this course, that is chiller design. Chiller, what is chiller and what are the components, everything you will have an idea in module 1 after completing module 1. So in chiller design, you will learn in detail about chill water pipes and pipe sizing. It's a very important topic. So we are also using a software for that. It's called McQuay Pipe Sizer. So using McQuay Pipe Sizer, we will before that manually also you will calculate. After that, we will use software to calculate the pipe size for the chiller, and based on that, you will learn how to select a pump. So this pump selection, not only as a HVAC engineer, if you are a mechanical engineer, wherever you go, this is a very important topic. You must know this one, like how to calculate the capacity of a pump, how to select a pump. So it's a very important topic. It is included in this section, and total chiller system sizing is also added in this topic. So after this one, you will have a good idea about chillers and chiller design. And after completing all this design course, we will go for a project-based training, where you will be given a project. As I told you, BIM Studio is having getting a lot of projects like BIM modeling projects and other projects from both from inside India and outside India. So from that one commercial project, we will be able to use one section or a whole project for this load calculation, both in, as I told you, both in E20 sheet, which is a manual method, and in HAP also. For example, I will show you just one project so that you can get a better idea. So this is one of the projects. This is a hospital. This is one floor of a hospital project. So you will be able to extract the data from, from this space. You will be able to calculate like how much tonnage of this one, or how much CFM of air flow is required. So based on that data, we will select the equipment, and we will design this ducting. And so after one project like this, you will have a very good idea about this total HVAC design concept. Okay, next is AutoCAD drafting. Okay, so as you know, AutoCAD has become a very basic requirement for any engineers in any field. So we are also using AutoCAD to create drawings from design stage to as-built stage. So it's very important that you know AutoCAD, and you must practice the software. You have a proficiency. You must have a proficiency. Like, this is a very basic thing now. So in AutoCAD drafting, what we are doing is that after all these HVAC design topics, you will get an idea about how to design things. So using that, we will teach you how to, or as an HVAC engineer, you must know how to create fittings, equipments, air terminals, etc. in the AutoCAD software, and also drawing of ducts and fittings, creating duct layouts, creating piping layouts, and things like that. This single line diagram and SLD and DLD, I hope you already know this one. SLD means single line diagram. So we can say that it's a design stage drawing. Everything is like very basic. The design is shown as a very basic thing in a single line. After that, as the project continues, it is moved to DLD, like a shop drawing or as-built drawing. It is turned in DLD from SLD. So these things will be discussed in the AutoCAD class. And after that, you need to create a lot of sections and details for this ducting. So for an example from the AutoCAD drawing is shown here, which one I showed you last time, just before. So you will be able to draft these main ducts, terminals, etc., and you will be able to create equipments and everything based on the knowledge you get from HVAC design course. So after that, this is also a very important part of our program, that is BIM-based HVAC modeling. So we are using Revit software from Autodesk. You may be also already aware of the software. Revit is a very powerful BIM tool to build complex building systems. That is, for example, mechanical, electrical, plumbing. So everything you can design in that. It's very simple. Like, it's compared to other softwares, it's very simple and very efficient. And you can create drawings with high level of detail. And as I told you, one more advantage is we can get maximum coordination between all the other departments also. So like, what are the topics you're going to need as a HVAC modeler or a BIM HVAC modeler? So as a BIM HVAC modeler or MEP modeler, this course we have designed like these things you need to understand in a very in-depth manner. So first is introduction. We have, I will show you the software also. So first topic in Revit is introduction. In that, we will discuss in detail about BIM concept. Okay, the various interfaces in the interface of Revit, and basic commands, and how to deal with project files. So these are the very basic things. And after that, moving on, we will discuss about templates. Templates means we will be working in mechanical template. As I told you, there are like structural, architectural, electrical. So many fields are there. So how to create a mechanical template and how to work with that will be explained in setting MFN MEP project. So in that one, let me just open one sample file and Revit for you. For example, we will create one, I hope my screen is visible. We will create one template, and we will get all the data from civil or architectural team. As you can see, I have imported one file here, architectural file. We will import all, extract all the information from this one, like grid lines, what the information we require, we will extract from this file. Okay, so it will look something like this. So we will import this data from the architectural or civil file. So after that, we will, as I told you, we will copy all the required data, that is levels and levels, material properties, and everything we will get from that. And after that, we will start our work. First stage is starting of the MEP project. Let me show you that one. So after importing the file, what we will do, we will create various spaces. For example, if some spaces are there, we will create all these spaces as required for based on our design requirements. Okay, and we are based on that spaces, we will create zones. So after all this, it will look something like this. This is a sample project. So you can see from the here that we have successfully created some spaces and zones here. So after this ones, we will give all the required information, like space, if what area it is, like office or cafeteria or whatever it is, that tags also we are providing. And after that, in Revit, we can do we can create analytical models. That is for, as I told you, this one for energy analysis and everything, we can create analytical models directly from the civil or architectural files. And on that, we can do this heating and cooling load calculations. Okay, and create load reports. So like in HAP, using the Revit software, we can create our own load reports. For example, I'll show you. To analyze, we have an option called heating and cooling load. Sorry. Hello. Yes, one late attendee. So we are discussing about heat load calculation Revit. So after this one, we can we have an option for heat load calculation in the Revit. So in this one, we can enter all the required data from our side, as I told you, from civil building location and application, everything we should know that we will enter in this one. And from that one, we can calculate this data. We can verify our spaces also. For example, if you want to know the load of a particular space only, we can do that one also. See, I'm now just checking the corridor, and I can see all the data, like how many people we are expecting, like people per area. That's based on different standards. We have various methods for that one that we will discuss in HVAC design course. So northeast space, we can review that space only. We can take that space and do calculations in that. So I'm going back, and just for an example, I will generate one report from Revit. We have already seen HAP. So in Revit also, we can create one report that's like this. These are all input data. And this is our building type. These are also in input data. So after that, we will get all the required information for our machine selection and the heat load calculation. Everything is there. So space by space, we get our load requirement. If I click here, we can directly go to that space. and we will get all the area, how much wall area is there, how much windows are there, how much people are there, how much heat is generated by all these sources. And finally, if we move down to the last portion, we can see that the calculated results, the total load we will get from this space summary. So the total area and everything we will get in the, but this is a very useful thing. As I told you, as a HVAC BIM modeler or a HVAC engineer, if you know Revit, this is a very powerful tool, and we will have a lot of opportunities if you learn these things. And let me go back to the slide. And after that, we can see that based on the load calculation, just as we discussed in our previous topics, after the load calculation, based on that, we are adding the equipment. Okay, adding the equipment, piping systems, pipe sizing, inspecting of system, everything is based on the load calculation. In Revit, this is very, very simple. Let me show you. If you want to place something, you can just go to systems tab, and all the systems are available. And you, in family, we have a topic called family creation. In that, you can like you can learn like how to create your families also. If you want some custom parts, you can create that also. So based on that data, in each spaces, the ducting is done. Just a moment. For example, if we need a duct here, we can just place a duct like this, and the fittings and everything will be placed automatically. And if you want to place an air terminal here, it's also very easy. You can just, it's just click and place. It will, if there is some issue, they will, it will automatically warn us. So this one I am just showing as an example. So like this, we can create all the ductworks and air terminals and everything. You want to go to 3D view for better coordination, you can go like this and view all the ductwork, fittings, and everything. Not only that, you can create all the reports required for duct design. For example, here, if I go to schedule under this load reports, I will just create now. We can create. So see here we have all the required information for regarding ducts. So after creating ducts, we can run an analysis and get all the required information like velocity pressure, how much pressure loss will be there, and how much section pressure loss will be there. Everything will be there. So and how much pressure loss will be in the each fittings. So as per that, as per this one, based on our requirement, we can manage the drawing or change the drawing. And the one more major advantage is that everything will be based on the selected standard. So here we are using ASHRAE table. As I told you, we are designing based on different standards like ASHRAE, Carrier, etc. Here we are using ASHRAE table. So based on the ASHRAE standards, all the data are available for the duct design. And finally, we have some topics also, additional topics also. That is from these all these data, we can create documentation for after all the designs. What we are doing, we are printing these documents or creating documents for final execution. So we will create detailed drawings. We will we will import it to CAD if required. We can print. Everything will be discussed in the topic. And some additional topics are there, like fabrication and infrastructure. Now, fabrication means nothing but, like, for example, if like after drawing the ducts, if you want to like know how it work in the site, you can choose the materials, and you can know how to make the parts. Like fabrication, you already know this one, fabrication. So regarding fabrication, we have a topic. And if you go to collaborate option, we have one option called interference check. As I told you before, in BIM, coordination is a very, very important topic. So we can do interference check also in Revit. So you need to know that one also. That will be also discussed in our topic. So these are the major parts of our course, and these are the things you should know as a HVAC engineer or a mechanical engineer in building services. Thank you. If you have anything to discuss, we can discuss now. Yes, if you have something to discuss, or if you need any doubts, you can unmute your mic, and you can have a discussion.